succumb to witchcraft now. Like,
Oh, I seen your dad doing in the garden and he's Crocs and that.
looking in me bag and I hit a lamppost or something.
What cultures are this? I'll go and marry them. I was like, no, dude, stop.
Wise fools.
Welcome in, everyone. This is, episode 5 now of The Wise Fools. I'm here with Nath, as always. How's it going, dude?
Happening, fellas.
First thing we're going to talk about was people that like to brag about being able to drink a lot or smoke a lot and having a high tolerance to either one.
Aye, it's weird because I sort of understand it, but at the same time, I would love to know where the origins of it is. Because, like, I've always sort of going on with, like it's sort of more pop culture for drink, like now where people kind of hack the drink and sort of things like that. Like, and you sort of take the piss out of them. But, like, I wonder where it comes from, because it's not really like that much of a badge of honor, is it? Like, I drink loads, like, because I drink all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm. I reckon it's one of them things where it's kind of human nature to make a competition out of everything.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, since alcohol was first, it was probably discovered by accident, really. Some guy accidentally made some and gave it to his pals and that, and then bragged about how he could drink more than them. Like, it's probably since, like, the very first drop of alcohol was around, people have competed about who can hack it the most.
Aye, right. Especially with, like, smoke and all. Because I had it once when I used to smoke. There was this guy, like, it was after working, like, me and my mate literally just had, like, a fucking, like, a one skin each. And he was like, look at them just with the one poppers and all that. And I'm like, like, he was going on sort of like saying about this thing, and it's like, do you know what it is? If I've got to smoke that much to get the same effect of what I am now, like, how's that something to sort of be proud of? Like,
like, it's just a more expensive habit, really. I've never been one, like, I smoke weed often, but I don't smoke a lot of weed, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, I still have the same size joints and the same size bongs as I had when I was, like, getting stoned the very first time.
Aye.
Like, whereas, like, I've got pals who, like, they got into it through me, and now they smoke way more than me and have way bigger bongs than me, like 2-3 times the size.
Aye, right. I remember, like, when I used to, like, actually have, like, a week break to bring me tolerance down when I felt like it was getting out of hand. Because, yeah, I mean, you remember, like, back in the fucking, in Martin's era, dude, fuck me, some of them Zunties, dude, fuck.
I were making big fatties, like.
Aye, right, it was fucking class, though.
Some of them pollen joints when we used to go out walking your dog and that, like, fucking, this dude would be baked off them, like.
Aye, right. I think that was, like, before I started having, like, the when I actually used to have, like, the Zunties rather than, like, buckets or what have you. I actually started going on the buckets and the other things to sort of, like, to make the most out of it. I feel like the effects were totally different between the two of them, and I preferred the one off the Zuntie. Like, you just used way more, you know what I mean? So it's like I was cheap, you know what I mean? I wanted to sort of like bring it down, because at one time it was getting silly. I think as soon as it was like over 40 quid a week or something, I was like, nah, this isn't any good, this, like.
Aye, right, that's too much, like, especially with, like, because we're getting that pollen for cheap as well, you know what I mean? So you must have been going through like a half ounce a week.
When I started, like, going on the thingies, because when I was on the poll, like, I didn't have, like, buckets and out of them. I'm trying not to say the other B word in case I get demonetized, so I'm just saying buckets. Like, when I used to have the buckets, like, I didn't, like, that was only when sort of, like, we couldn't get the poll anymore. But remember when we used to have both, and you used to have the peas and gravy, dude?
Aye, dude, they were fucking strong, some of them, like.
Do you know what it is, dude? Like, since I've, like, packed in drinking that, right? Like, I can smell it all over now, and it's, I'll be honest with you, I am starting to miss it, like, but I don't want to go back to getting, like, to smoking, like, it's, like, it just doesn't do the same as what it does anymore, and I feel like I'm not a very motivated person anyways. I feel like whatever motivation I did have, that would eradicate it, like.
I definitely, it is one of them, like. But it's still been funny sometimes when like fucking like you've came around like in the past couple of years when you haven't really been smoking, and then you'll see me having a bunch of bongs. Oh, dude, guess one of them, and fucking you just don't like it. Like,
I know. So it's like, what's the point? Like, it was mad. Like, I remember just one time I'd done it, like, my normal routine, had a bucket, and then I was just sort of like, what? Like, I feel terrible, and I just felt proper paranoid. And then I was like, oh, it's just like sort of a one-off, because it had happened before, but was so rare. But then it was just every time I was like, rah, like, I need to quit this. I think it got the point is, and like, you can confirm this or not, but it got the point where whatever I had left, I couldn't even finish. I'm pretty sure I just gave it to you. I was like, look, I can't do it anymore. Like,
I think you gave us like a grinder full.
I was like, I don't need that anymore. Like the grinder itself.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that time you came around and you were like, fucking. It was not long after I got the VR. I think it was like the second time you'd had a go of it. We were like, oh, fucking gives a bong, and then I'll go on the VR and that, and you were like in super hot, and your pair nearly fell over because of you're like on this level where you're like up on top of this like shopping centre, and you've got to like shoot down through a window in the ceiling, and you're probably like fucking going all over, like looking down at this thing, like feeling like you're actually gonna fall through the floor.
Aye, right.
You nearly punched us in the back of the head as well, like fucking going for the guys. It's like, because Connor was here as well, and like he's felt as well on the other side of the room, and he's like, will you try and get him? I was like, aye. And I was pure like ducking around you, pure Mission Impossible style and that, and like I pure sensed you like something like coming towards the back of my head, and I pure ducked and just seen your arm come like right over the top. I was like, fucking hell.
It's probably his car was on a skit. I was like, who goes there?
Well, no, it was just the enemies of the guy. Like, we're watching on the screen, like sort of the world that you're in. There's a guy there that you're punching and that, like, fucking. But I nearly clipped me in the back of the fucking dome.
Sorry, dude. I didn't even know. I mean, it was years ago.
Plus, you were blind, like you were in the VR, and I was trying to stealth around you so that you didn't know that I was there. Because I didn't want to put you on a skid. Like, if you heard us moving, you might be like, "Oh, what are you doing? He's going to try and push us over or something."
Right, dude. Do you know what I've just noticed, right? Like, I've got this sort of quarter zip on, right? And, like, this isn't the first thing. Now, these little holes for your thumbs, right? It's got them. Like, what is the purpose of that? Because the only thing I can think of, right, dude, is it stops your sleeves from, like, falling down while you're running or something, dude. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, what is the point in that?
Nah, I don't get it either. I remember in school as well, like, certain people had, like, because I like in primary, we had, like, a sweatshirt that was, like, part of a uniform.
Yeah.
And they had, like, holes in the thumb thing. I didn't get it. Because they're pretty uncomfortable having your thumbs in there because of your chafes on the webbing, you know what I mean?
Like, these ones feel alright, but I just don't, like, it feels better without them on. Like, I don't understand what the point is. I don't know if anyone in the chat can sort of shine some light on the situation, but I just don't get it. Like, but going back to what we're saying, there's another thing that people used to, like, do, and I never used to understand it, and that's, like, stitching people with buckets and that.
I've not been one for that. I mean, I know we gave Martin a fair few fucking batty buckets and that, like.
I think that was more because we were amazed at how it just didn't affect them. You know what I mean? Because, like, we're sort of like, what we'll do, like, and we're sort of amped up the batty. I remember sometimes you cram the batty in with me thumb and the chill him and that, and he'd just be like, that was lethal, that, like, holding it in and that, dude.
Dude, like, I would have died.
Absolutely no chance, like, I could hack one of them. Like, I think I'd done it once because I didn't have, like, when I was proper younger, I didn't have enough for to make a rollie, so I was like, I'm gonna have to have a bong, so I'm clamming. Had it, and it, like, nearly put us off snout anyways, that.
Aye, right, dude, I made that same mistake once as well, and it was a mistake I didn't ever want to make twice, like.
Oh. And then he was just like the iron lungs, wasn't he? The iron lungs of Jarrow, dude.
He was unbelievable. I've told Shrubs about it before as well, about how because he does, well, not anymore because he doesn't smoke anymore, but he used to do that on purpose. Like, that's a big thing in Australia, to, like, mix your baggie with your weed when you make a bong.
I remember you saying that, like, I just don't get it. Martin's pure Aussie, like.
He must be, aye.
Right, dude.
Do you reckon it would be funny if you sort of had, like, a time machine, right, to go back into the past and kidnap someone and bring them to now?
Oh, dude. And, like, I would have a field day, man.
Like, just all the mad shit you could show them, because they'd be mind blown at the simplest shit. shit that we take for granted. I mean, the shit that we take for granted now is crazy, like phones and stuff. But even shit like a can of fucking deodorant, they'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" You know what I mean?
Do you know one of the first things I would do, right, dude? I was like, hey, I would take him to like somewhere that has like a high flight area or in a flight path, and I'd be like, hey, look, a dragon, and they'd be like, what? No way! I'm like, like that's a dragon, that, you know? Like I would just wind them up the bit. Like, dude, imagine what a car would be like to them, though, dude. Like, imagine if you pick someone up.
Just about to say about cars, you know, like tell them you have to tame them in the wild and that, like, you gotta go out and hunt these fucking creatures.
Do you reckon you would let them have a shot of a car? Like some like 14th century peasant or something. He said president there, 14th century.
I mean, either way, they're gonna be just as mind blown by it. I don't know, I mean, probably. Like, I think they'd probably be too scared because of the stories I told them about it first, you know what I mean?
Oh, imagine like taking them down like the A19 or something at like 100 mile an hour, and they'd be like, they'd be sick, wouldn't they? Because the fastest they ever travelled on a horse, and even then, like, not everyone just had a horse then, so like they'd be like, what?
Exactly, aye.
Do you know what would be kind of funny?
After that, like, people way later than that thought like, oh, if you travel like faster than 30 miles an hour, your lungs will pop out your mouth or something, you know what I mean?
There's us doing it as a hobby, and do you know, like, do you know what would be kind of funny to do to him, dude? If we're like just put like a GPS off him and then be like, oh wait, yeah, we need to go and do this sort of thing, and then just fuck off and see what he gets up to.
Right.
Do you reckon he'd start brawls and things like that?
Well, it depends how you picked, you know what I mean? If you just pick some scrawny little field hand, like from like the 12th century or something, like probably not. But if you got some pure champion knight or something, like he'd probably just be going around local bars and that, being like, right, fucking, who's gonna fight us for me?
Mate, not a groschen to my name. I must earn it somehow. Who wants a duel? Fucketh about, findeth out. Like, dude, who would you pick if you had to like pick someone? Like, would you go for like a proper noble guy, or do you reckon you would be, or would you pick a peasant up?
It's hard to decide, you know, because like the differences between them at that time stop mattering when you bring them to this day. It doesn't really matter if you can fight with a sword now because people have guns and shit.
Aye. One of the things I reckon would be like sort of a bonus of getting a noble is because they're used to being pampered, but they'll just be a regular guy here. Like what I think one of the things I think I would go for a noble, because he'd be like, how dare you, and things like that, and people are like, oh what? You know what I mean? People would just be starting on him and then pushing him, and he'd be like, he can't believe someone's just put their hands on him and that. He'd be like, seize him. But what was it? I would proper milk him, wind them up, you know, like I would just sort of like go into a shop and go, by the way, like she's a witch, like we've succumbed to witchcraft now, like everyone loves witchcraft now, and they'd be like, what the fuck? Like they'd be quite scared doing this and that, like what the fuck? I'd be like, well, go see the fucking witch now. And then they'd be like, no, I don't want to. It's like, you've got to, like, you've got no choice. Like, you're not a lord, yeah? Like, lords don't exist because everyone's a witch now, like, go and thingy. And like, obviously, like, girls wear like sort of more revealing clothes. Even clothes that aren't revealing to us now is like way too much revealing for them. So like, do you reckon, like, even if you didn't tell them anything about witchcraft, they'd just see like a normal everyday woman, be like, witchcraft, like, and all that shit.
Oh, probably calling her a harlot or something, or a strumpet.
A strumpet. Have some self-respect, you bloody strumpet. Seize her. Pump her in the stocks. Like, having a meltdown. Everyone just sort of like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Like,
he's just there on his own chucking tomatoes at him. That like, everyone's like, hey, like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
Like, expecting everyone else to just join in, because like that was like peak entertainment to them back then. Like, like, oh, someone's getting shit launched at them and that, I'm gonna join in. So he's like, everyone, and then like does it, and then everyone's just like, whoa, and he gets arrested, and he's like, unhand me, do you know who I am?
Roddy Pickering.
Do you think if we sort of like reversed it, dude, do you think like we could go back, like, since we're like unintelligent people like for today, but if we go back then, like, we'd be like ridiculously clever? Do you reckon like we could go back and like go far? That's if we don't die of the plague, of course.
It depends on, like, because we've got stuff like from now that we'll bring back, but it's like, do we have the knowledge to like invent something before it was actually invented.
Aye. Wait, do you know what it is, dude? I'm glad you mentioned that, because that sort of like brought us into another thing. Like, do you know how like people are sort of like baffled by the pyramids and things like that? And there's a lot of theories that like our sort of civilization was like a lot more advanced, but it's sort of something sort of reset it and brought it back to the Dark Ages, and then we've come to where we are now. Like when I first heard that, I was like, nah, that's stupid. But then I thought more into it. Like what you've just said there, like we know a lot, and like, but we couldn't go back there and build a car because we're not mechanics.
Exactly, aye.
Or we couldn't like become doctors because we know that if you take this tablet it cures this, but we don't have the knowledge to sort of bring that together. So if you think about it, if a lot of people just sort of like died in some sort of disaster, dude, and like only people like us were left, that would sort of reset us back into the Dark Ages, because like all my area expertise and sort of like trade wise is sort of in construction, but I don't know how to cut down a tree and turn it into lumber. Like I've always had that sort of prefabricated forest. I've never made me own brick before.
Luckily enough, I know how to cut down a tree, but I don't know how to turn it into timber. We need a third guy for that.
Aye, and then obviously like sort of we couldn't, like the machinery that sort of like fabricates the timber into planks and things like that, I couldn't invent that. So that does really make sense, you know, dude, like, because that would happen. So like, do you reckon that's maybe a thing then? Do you reckon like we were more advanced than what we are today, but something happened and reset it? I think what we've just explained there, it is possible.
I wouldn't say that we were more advanced than today, because there'd be things that'd be found, you know what I mean, like relics and artifacts and that'd be found that is like, you know, like of a higher technology than we have now. It's possible that there was some kind of disaster that caused something like that. Like, I don't know, I've not really looked into it. I wouldn't dismiss the idea, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, especially like because there is signs of like a massive flood and sort of things like that in like a lot of different like areas, like places like you can see sort of like this didn't used to be under an ocean and now it is sort of thing, and like, or this used to be an ocean and now it's not.
No, it's a desert.
Aye, so like things like that could have sort of altered it. But then you're saying like we haven't found these artifacts, like maybe we have, but they were so advanced then they could make use of it. And with us being less advanced, we just think it's some sort of mumbo jumbo. But it's not, it's actually this mad tool that can like eradicate planets, just we don't have the rest of the tools to like utilize it, you know what I mean? That's mental, innit, dude? But I see if like everyone else got sort of wiped out, like all the doctors and all the mechanics and engineers, and there was only sort of people like of our intelligence left, but we wouldn't quite be set back into the Dark Ages, but like we would be pretty far back.
The equivalent of the pyramids would be like a crane or something.
Aye.
It would be like, how did they have the technology to make this?
It's mental, innit, dude?
A woman from down the Tyne thought you and James were burglars.
Oh, dude. It was like sort of this abandoned sort of house, and like these people have obviously bought it and renovated and turned it into a nice house, right, dude? But me and James were sort of like looking for like a better fishing spot down the Tyne, cause it was like right on the Tyne. And we're sort of like walking down the road and we're sort of like looking in the bushes and things. I can understand it does sort of look suspicious. But she was just sort of, she come like out, I think she was like hanging out the window going, "You are on private property, you are on CCTV, please leave now." And I was just sort of like, what the fuck? Yeah, we're not up there for like mischief, like we're just looking for like a spot to fish like tomorrow. And she said, "You can't fish on here, this is private property," and all this stuff. And like the more I was trying to explain myself, the more I was getting wound up, because she had a one-trap mind. She was like, "These two are like delinquents, the yattered burglars, like I don't care what they say." And like the sort of, and so I was like, "So I'm on private property now?" And then she was like, "Yes." But I was on the road. I was like, "So you own this road, this is a private road?" And she was like, "Yes." I was like, "There's no signs, and there's no, so you haven't barriered it off to show that it's a private road, for a start. And two, I don't actually think this is a private road. People I've seen other people drive up and down here all the time. Like, this is like sort of like council land." So that wound me up more, because she's sort of like seeing that she's got more authority than what she really had. And I was like, we're just sort of like looking for spots. And she was like, "You can't fish on Chad's private thing." I was like, "Oh, so you own the river as well, do you?"
I fucking hate people like that, you know.
And then it got to the point where I was like, well, ring the police then, ring the police. Because, like, do you know, sort of like, if I just explain myself, she was like, all right, and then left it at that because I was on his road. It's no different to me just going down the A19, going, get off my fucking land. And then she was like, you are on and she just kept repeating herself, you're on CCTV, you're on private property, please leave now. And I'm like, we're not doing anything though. Like, we're doing nothing wrong. But like, I was so round up but then like, I would sort of confirm it. If he has, I was just sort of like, well, he has a brick that's going through your window if you keep going on. I was like, see, told you, heathens. You know what I mean? I hate people like that. Aye.
Damn, dude. My neighbours are a lot like that. They used to fucking kick off if we had someone sort of around visiting the house that had drove here and they were parked like not directly in front of our house but like partially in front of ours and partially in front of theirs, they'd be coming around knocking like, is that car something to do with you? It's like, fucking it is, fuck off.
Like I've always noticed that when I've always drove around and come to see it, always like curtain twitching and all that, and I'm thinking, me car's tax, I pay road tax, you know what I mean? Me car's got the right, like I'm insured, I'm taxed, and I've got a license to drive, like I'm doing nothing wrong, you know what I mean?
Like, do you remember that time when you and James were there and fucking he was like coming out the driveway and he asked us to ask us to move? Like, I was dying to turn around and go, nah, fuck off. Like, you've got your white line painted there, we're not on it, you know what I mean? If you can't get out of there, you shouldn't have a fucking license anymore.
Aye, right. Like, what more does he want? Like, so he's got the thing, the part there. Like, fair enough if you're in there. Like then fair enough. But like, here people like that, like, why do they feel so entitled? Like who do they think they are?
They're fucking annoying, like.
But I with that lady, it's like private fucking property. I wish I was sort of like, I had the intelligence I did. Now I'm going on as if I'm some professor. I wish I knew what I knew back then, because I would look for something to trip over and hurt myself on. I'd knock on the door and go, also this is your, I'm just letting you know, like since this is your private road, it's not cordoned off and there's no sort of sign to say that's private land. Like, I've just tripped over and hurt myself off that pedal. Hey, like, I'm gonna sue you. You're getting sued. Then we'll see who's the dad you are. I was like, also, is that CCTV working now that proves I fell over on your property, even though, like, you're not making it clear that it's your property? I should have turned around and said, it's like, it's some sort of, like, a ritual that we're doing. It's important to a religion that we walk up and down this path. Like,
this is holy ground.
We're like the druids of heaven. Like,
fucking monk hoods on, and
I've got dancing over, like, and then we'll pure like light fires on the road and that, and then dance around and she'll be like, them again. Imagine if she rang the police and then they were proper on our, like, imagine if we'd done that and then like the police come and they were proper on their thing. It's like, oh, so you don't respect other people's religion, you heathen. Get back inside, you bigot. Let them practice what is sacred to them. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, on for the next part of the ritual, but all tell her to go fuck off. And everyone, all the followers are like, hey, outside, like a Braveheart where they're lifting the kilts up into the ignition.
I were fucking, do you remember that time where like we'd been driving around for like a while and it was like pretty late at night? We'd gone and got like, I think we got like KFC or something like that, and we're like sort of just pulled into this random street, like in this middle of this random estate to like eat the food, and fucking like some woman was like staring out of that upstairs window at us, like just probably blatantly, so we're like staring back, and then she's just continues staring at us, and then so like she kind of like, she walked off, right, like, so like the window was like, yeah, she's like staring at her, and then she like walked off, and then but like her head just came back, like without her body, like just staring at her again.
It's like she was pure like this, right? And I noticed that was seen on, and she went like this, right? And then just was like this. Like this, and we're like,
it was weird as fuck.
We can still see you, man, you dizzy cow. I remember when we noticed that, because like I remember seeing like you can sort of like it was one of them where like it was like a relatively okay area, and obviously with the car that I had at the time, like I had no business being around there, like I clearly didn't live there. It's sort of one of them where like she went on like that fair enough, she had a look, and then like sort of like thing, you'd seen that what like not brave breaking the law or anything. So it's just sort of like just left at it. Unless like it didn't go further than what we're doing, which it didn't. But then she kept like staring as if, what are they doing round chat? And it's the same crack, like we're on the road, we've got the right to be there.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Public land.
Exactly. And then she was like, yeah, like that. And I remember turning around to you saying like, hey, act suspicious now, like proper like make like act proper suspicious to us, so up here like start to try and hide her face and we're pointing up and all that. And then she was like, oh, you could see, she was like, oh my god. What wasn't like the reason we're there in the first place? Because weren't we sort of like further down, and then like I seen that woman, and like obviously the chap probably's noticed is like me hearing's not that bad, so I'm proper loud when I don't mean to be. And what you were sort of eating with food, and I seen this woman, and she was like sort of one of them like hippie like elder hippies. I don't know what they're called. Like I didn't know if it's like their version of a pope, but like a hippie version or something. But she was like sort of like an elder hippie, and then like she was sort of sitting on. But she was just sitting on the grass in the middle of the night. I was like it was like a good witch. Like, do you know how like sort of like everyone assumes witches are evil, but like it just means like a woman version of a wizard. It was kind of like them, and I was like, and like my window was down. I was like, yeah, dude, didn't she look like a pure warlock? And the proper thing, he looked and you were like, dude, you said that so loud. And I was like, oh no way, like I'm gonna have to leave now. So imagine if she proper was like, she just sort of like lifting her arms up and like doing the hands like that. I would have freaked out. So I was like,
right, the corpse starts lifting up.
Right, so I was like, no, let's bounce. So that's why we ended up outside her house, wasn't it?
And
then
like,
I was...
we weren't even like directly out, we were like across the road. So like her house is on the other side.
But then we started taking liberties, because then we're sort of like reverse back, and then we're coming back here like that, like here pointing out and looking out the window and that. It is kind of shocking, but she started it, you know what I mean?
I know, like if she wasn't staying in the first place, we wouldn't have done that. We would have just had our food and fucked off. You know, bit of mid-meal entertainment, you know what I mean?
We should have, you know what it is, we should have knocked on the door and asked if we can use the toilet.
Oh, right.
And then it's like,
orange and that, excuse me miss, there's been a terrible accident down the road, can we use your telephone? She'd be like, no, fuck off. I was like, oh yeah, I don't think it's got any cameras. Right. Do you know body warmers? We might have to explain to Shrubs, because I've been, well, I mean, maybe not anymore, but I've been having this argument about them about what's a vest and what's not a vest. So a body warmer is basically just like one of them like puffy jacket kind of things, but with no arms.
Basically, oh damn. It's one of these anyways, guys. Like if you don't know, like I've never really understood them. Like, do you want to be warm or not?
I don't get it either. Like I'd rather the opposite in a way, because
Don't you sleeves?
but not getting like quite often I'll be sitting here like with this hoodie on or whatever. With like I'll have the front open, but it's because my arms are cold, but my torso is hot. I've never had it where my arms are warm and my main body isn't warm. My
arms get too hot. Like, do you know what? Like, I just don't like understand it, because like it's almost sort of like wearing like a proper one of them massive Arsene Wenger coats, but then wearing like Muay Thai shorts or something.
Right.
In flip flops. It's like I've never understood it. Like, and I've never owned ever one of these, because I just don't really see the point in them. Like, do you want to be warm or not? Like, sure, you warrants a jacket or not? And there's even different things. Like, this is like a quarter zip. It's like quite thin, so it's like adds you like that extra layer, like, but it's like less than a coat. There is other options out there rather than outright having a straight up typical school kid's jacket but without arms. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, what do you want?
It makes no sense to me.
Like, I just don't get it.
Your arms, it's where there's less blood there than in your main torso, you know what I mean? And that's what keeps you warm from the inside. So like when you get too hot, it's more likely to be your torso that gets too hot before your legs and your arms.
Right. Like, but what you saying, like you would like it reverse, so it's like just the fucking sleeves.
Not really. Like I wouldn't ever wear like only sleeves that I have to like pull on my arms separately. But like I say, like sometimes I sit around the house wearing this hoodie, but like with it like unzipped, so like my stomach and chest chest is out, but my arms are covered.
Aye, right. Dude, you should get, like, I think you should go on Dragon's Den with the idea of, like, just sleeves of jackets, like the reverse body warmer.
What the fuck is that?
Dude, you should make it so just the sleeves are like that.
Dude, fuck.
Yeah, dude, you proper suit that, you know.
There's no way. It's not a woman's coat.
Doesn't matter, it's 2024, dude.
You could have, like, just the fingers of gloves, like, attached to the sleeve, but the main palm open, you know, like the opposite of fingerless gloves.
Aye, right, dude.
Have, like, just the sleeves of the jacket and then, like, strings down the back attaching, like, glove fingers to your fucking thing.
Aye, right. This is another thing I've not really understand, and it probably gives me the fear for some reason, dude. You know what it is, dude? I reckon you'd be a fan of these, actually. These, dude? No, it's like fucking toe socks, dude.
Yeah, nah, I don't like toe socks.
I would, like, I've never even tried them. Like, I don't know why I've probably got the fear about them.
I don't like anything being, like, in between me toes.
I mean, either apart from A. Do you know what is, crazy, dude? Oh, shit.
So many of them. They're horrible. Oh, that dude, did you see them ones that was, like, they didn't even cover the whole foot?
Oh, they?
Aye.
How are they therapeutic invisible gel socks? They're not therapeutic, it's be worse. Dude, look at these ones out of rubber.
Fucking horrible.
Isn't this or some fetish people or something? Get this out of here. What's your verdict, dude? It's a thumbs down for me.
Definitely fucking awful.
Are you doing a thumbs down as well, dude?
Aye,
The Wise Fools verdict this is 100% unanimous decision, thumbs down. You can get shoes like that as well, because that's originally what I was looking at, because I didn't know about these until I was just sort of doing the search there.
The first time I seen something like that, I was about like 11 or 12 or something, and like it was them ones where it was like,
dude, look at these.
It didn't cover the top of your foot like them socks there, but it was like, it didn't have all separate toes like that either. It was just, I think it was just the big toe, or your big toe and the next toe that was separate, and it just was like split in two at the front. I was like, they look like the most uncomfortable shoes I've ever seen.
Look at these, dude. These looks like something that Rumpelstiltskin could wear, like.
It's like gardening gloves for your feet.
Like
pruning the fucking hedges and that with your fucking toes.
And they look like proper, like when cobblers first started doing the job. This is what they come up with, and even they were like, "Nah, that's no good to anyone." That like, dude, look at the price range: £59.92 to £83.
Dude, it looks like I could probably just make that like for like a $5.
Dude. Oh, no way. Dude, look at these. Did you want them?
I still do. I don't know why it says medieval Viking boots, because they're clearly fucking elf boots or something. Genie boots.
Or like, it looks like something maybe a jester would wear, dude.
A jester wouldn't have hard shoes like that. At least not my jester. I wouldn't have my hard shoes. I wanted them like off, do you remember Naboo off the fucking Mighty Boosh? Like he had curly trainers.
Aye, right, dude.
Like I wanted them, mate. They were class.
To summarise that anyways, like, I just don't understand body warmers. Like, I just really don't understand it, like.
Crocs as well, which would a couple of them came up there as well as a pair of high-heeled Crocs.
Was it? Like, that's actually on the list then, if you want to just go straight into that anyways.
Kind of what I was doing. You've ruined the transition.
Perhaps I should just zip it.
That's so good.
Dude, you know how your arms are proper long? Like, I can just imagine, like, you going, oh, man, and then, like, on your screen you do that, then, like, your hand just sort of comes out, like, part of the side.
It's like, you know, on your end and that.
As long as you've got money enough to keep a company going, as long as you keep it around and start bombarding people with it, eventually people will succumb and start wearing it. Because it's a proper thing now. People like go around wearing Crocs. I don't know if you can remember, dude, right? But when the first come out, if you wore them, you were getting ridiculed. You were getting absolutely ridiculed.
Proper, dude.
But
and
what's
like, not even
changed?
just if you wore them. Like, if your family wore them, like, oh, I seen your dad doing in the garden and he's Crocs and that. that. Like, you'd be getting this shit ripped out of you in school and that.
You've got I don't understand like it just goes to show if you bombard people enough of it, like people will eventually start wearing them and then eventually it'll become popular. Like, how did they ever become cool?
I don't know, man. It's fucking, they're so ugly. And then people say they're comfortable, and I don't know if I try to pay around, but they're fucking not.
And dude, I kind of bring myself to do it. I feel like a hypocrite because half of these people that were like ridiculing people for wearing them, rightfully so in my opinion, a lot of them have now started wearing them, or else no one would be wearing them. So some people must have slated them and are wearing them now, and I refuse to be one of them people that'll slate something and then, I mean, I probably have done it. I think everyone has. I think I've not long done it with Arc. I was like, I'm not paying for Arc again. I've already bought it there, and then I ended up getting it. So, but I'll not do it with Crocs, like 100%.
Like, I wouldn't either. Like, the only time I've had them on is when, like, it was like when they first became a thing. My granddad, I used to go around to his, and he used to have a pair, and like, I had to go and do something out in the garden or something. He was like, I'll go make sure the gate's locked or whatever.
Aye.
And he was like, you know, like, I only had my boots there, so he's like, oh, just chuck me Crocs on, like, for quickness. And they were so uncomfortable. Like, they were like sort of spiking the bottom of my feet, like, because they've got these like rubber grip things and that, and it's probably like poking up into your soles of your feet and that, and then like it doesn't help them stay on. So like, you've still got to clench your toes like you're wearing flip flops. They're just horrible.
I just don't understand the benefit in them. Like they proper look like they're made out of SpongeBob as well, with all the holes in them and that.
Right. Like, the material that they are, it doesn't feel nice at all. Like, it's sort of like half rubber, half polystyrene or something.
Oh, dude, it's just sort of like popped into me head. Like when me daughter was born, right, dude? You've sort of like got to put like certain things on if you want to be in the room, and like they give you all the thing, and you've got like the fucking like the fez hat sort of thing that they're wearing, like a mask sort of thing, and then like overalls, gloves, and then what is it? You've got to wear Crocs, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I just went in, and hopefully I realised that the scene that I wasn't wearing the Crocs. I was thinking to myself, right, there was no chance at all that the first ever time I meet me firstborn that I'm wearing a pair of fucking Crocs. It's not happening. So I just went in. I think I had Air Max TNs on or something. I seen one of them looking, and I was sort of like, I dare you to say I've got to put them on, so I'm fucking not, like.
Right. I wouldn't have either. Like,
nah, dude.
Good on you for not putting them on.
Nah, I'm not doing it, like 100%. I'm not doing it. I was sort of glad that they didn't see anything, because I would look like a massive like divvy if I missed the birth of one of my children over Crocs. But if that's the case,
sacrifice, like, fucking, I'd be willing to make.
It's their fault, dude. Putting like harsh sanctions on this. It's like if they turn around and went, oh, by the way, it's like a tenner to come say, I'll be like, no, absolutely not. I'm not paying a tenner. Like, I've done all the work, you know.
I wouldn't either. Like, I mean, it's my kid. I'm gonna fucking say it eventually. You know what I mean? I'm not paying a fucking tenner for it.
Like, I'll be paying for this being a dad for the rest of me blood clot life. Do you think like you know what I mean? Why does it have to start now? Does that do something for free?
Do you know that thing? I think it was you sent us it, where like it was some country like Turkey or somewhere like that, where like the bride's younger brother has to like stand at the door with, he's like holding like a knife in the door frame, and the guy's coming in to have to like put money on the blade of the knife and that, and he lets them in. With this kid standing there like saying, this guy's putting like fucking hundreds and hundreds on this, and he's like, no, it's not enough. I would have took that knife off that kid and fucking punched the fuck out of him.
So what are you giving him money for? Just to sort of inspect the marriage, like the proposal of a marriage or something?
No, it's like sort of like, I don't know, say you had an older sister, right? Like, you stand at the door and you don't let the groom and his friends in until they pay you enough money, because you're like losing your sister to his family or whatever.
Oh, like, so it's like a dowry sort of thing.
Aye. But this kid just gets to decide like how much, you know what I mean? And this guy's like putting on, like the guy who's getting married is like putting all this fucking money on this thing, and the kid's like, no, it's not enough, put more, like over and for like 5 minutes or something. That kid would have been getting laced about if that was me, like.
Aye,
Like,
right.
every bit of money he'd got given before that would have been mine. Like, I would have fucking looted the cunt.
It's mad because if you sort of look at like our like in medieval Europe when you used to do it, it was actually like the bride's father that would pay the groom. It was sort of the other way around, I'm sure.
Really?
Aye, because there's this thing called I think it's like it's this movie. It's got Brad Pitt in or something. Like, and he's like a knight in it, and he gets paid a dowry off he's going to marry his daughter, and then he gets paid a dowry of like both like francs and land as well. He's like sort of like he gives them land for marrying his daughter, because what it was is like until your daughter gets married, like you're looking after her, so she costs money to you. You sort of like compensate him for taking on like the financial burden of having a wife. Like, it's just the way it went. So it's like sort of the opposite of what you just described.
Like, I always thought it was like you sort of pay the dowry to the family of the bride because you're taking her away from them. They no longer have that person who can look after them when they're old and that and can't look after themselves anymore.
Shall we look into it on the stream, because I've noticed a couple of times we always sort of want to look into things, but then we never do. Right, do just a quick one here. It says in some cultures, the bride or her family pays a certain amount of money or property to the groom when couple are married. This payment is called a dowry. Like, that's the definition of a dowry.
So what cultures are this? I'll go and marry them.
Anyway, I don't think it's a thing anymore. I think it was like sort of medieval Europe. I mean, it might be somewhere, dude. We'll look that up in our own time.
What would you do if you had to look after yourself as a 3-year-old?
Aye, dude, it sort of popped in my head while I was at work the other day. Like, if you were like, if you sort of like, I don't know why, if somehow, I don't know what, I'm trying to like piece together how this would ever be a thing. I don't think I can. But say if like you as a child, like it was brought to you as you are now, and you had to like sort of look after yourself, like would you be like proper sound with you, or would you be like an old? Because I don't know what I would do. Like, because think about it, you would sort of be like a dad to yourself.
I don't know. Like, I would have been pissed off with me as a child. Like, even looking back now, like if I had to raise myself, like I got off easy for a lot of the shit I did. I would have probably been stricter on myself if I was my own parent, kind of thing.
Aye.
It's hard to phrase this when I'm referring to me twice as different people.
Aye. So is this adult you or child you?
Right. So adult me would be stricter on child me. That would result in child me being more of a bastard. You know what I mean?
Like rebellion attitude sort of thing. Like, I really don't know. I don't know, like, that's because obviously I wouldn't be happy with the situation anyways. But I reckon I'd sort of be like it is sort of me. So I've got the right to be an arsehole to myself. But at the same time, I reckon I would sort of be sound. But like, I reckon like my dad is a better dad than me. So like I'm worse off. Like the child me is sort of worse off.
Does that, like, you know how like a lot of the way you think now was all sort of shaped through what you experienced as a child and what your upbringing and stuff was like?
Aye.
Do you think if you're raising yourself, do you have an immediate effect on the adult you by the things that you put onto the child you? You know what I mean?
Aye, that's mad. So you sort of see yourself changing because of the things you're putting your child you through.
Well, would you even notice though? Because it's like
you're just being you.
If you're changing it at the age of like 3 or 4 and you're like 27, 28, it's been that way. Like, although it's only just changed, like to you, it's been that way for 25 years.
Aye, I don't know. Like another thing as well. Like, would you be handing the child you back as well? Like, if that was like sort of like you had to do it for a year. Like, let's put this. Like, let's set some ground rules here. You've got to look after a 3-year-old you for a year.
And then he becomes a 4-year-old you?
No, then he goes back to his timeline.
Right.
If that was the case, right, I'd be like, listen, remember this, whatever you do, remember this thing, right? As soon as you're able to earn money, spend it all in Bitcoin. Buy this thing called Bitcoin. Repeat after me, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Feel me, he's going Bitcoin. I'm like, that's the one. Get a paper round, do whatever you can, do a paper round, give every penny you get to your dad and say, buy me Bitcoin with this and I'll give you 15% of when it comes in. And I know for a fine fact my dad would be like, you're wasting your money, cryptocurrency. But that brings another question, right, dude? Would you, when you go back to time, like, does your parents and everyone else in your life know that this has happened? What do you think? This is starting to blow my mind.
If this was on TV, it would probably, people wouldn't know. You'd probably be trying to keep it hidden from them for whatever reason.
I mean, but a year's a long time. Like, imagine if it's sort of like the police are looking for you, like a missing kid for a year, and then you just come back as a 4-year-old and goes, no, I've been with myself, like in the year 2024. They wouldn't believe you, would they?
Nah, like, I mean, it would be impossible to explain. So yeah, probably not. You'd probably be trying to keep it away from them. Because they'd probably want to interject. You know what I mean? They're probably, oh, you're doing it wrong and all this. And it's like, listen, this is me and I'm raising me. So this fuck all to you. You know what I mean? There's no yous in this situation. This is me and me.
Right. Like, I reckon, like, do you reckon, like, your parents will get proper emotional? Because, like, they obviously know what you look like as a 3-year-old. Like, they, like, unless, like, in the know, like, I hope my parents know I'm not just a deranged lunatic that would just turn up with a kid and say it was me. You know what I mean? I like, because obviously my parents know what I look like. Do you reckon your mum and dad would, like, pure be emotional going, oh my god, like, it's true, like, because I'm, like, I know what you look like when you're free and try and keep you. Because they get, like, a second chance. Because, like, and I know this myself as being a parent, like, it's proper depressing watching your kids grow up, you know, you kind of want them to stay kids forever. And, like, even my mom now, like, I've said in, like, a previous podcast, if I drew a picture for my mom now as a 29-year-old man, she'd be like, oh, what's going on in the fridge? Like, my mom, I don't think my mom likes being a mom to adults. I think she would rather we stayed kids forever. So do you reckon if I took, like, if I took 3-year-old me to me mom, she'd be like, oh, you leave now.
Right. I do. She probably would just cast you aside and keep the young one.
You did like
She's got a fresh start. This one's never made any mistakes yet. He's never got a bad report card from school yet.
And I'd be like, Mom, and it's like, what do you mean, Mom? I'm not your mom, I'm his mom.
Get out of my house, stranger, before I call the police.
You bloody rapscallion, leave. You're not welcome here no more. And don't let the door hit you on the way out. I'd be raging me. Like, I probably wouldn't take a child me to go see me mom, because I don't think I'd get him back.
And if it's only for a year, I reckon you can keep it from them for a year.
What advice would you give yourself?
I don't know, because you're only 3, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Do you know what would wind us up? I bet every single bit of advice I give myself, I would just forget. So
that's
maybe
what I was wondering when you were saying, like, about, oh, listen, I'll give you this advice. I was thinking, like, dude, he's only 3. Like, how much do you expect him to take in?
Sort of that sort of thing would be, like, better if you were sort of like a teenager sort of thing.
Like, it would probably, when you were saying about the Bitcoin, like, it would probably be one of them things where it just suddenly popped into his head when he was, like, 40 and like, oh, fuck, I was supposed to do this years ago.
But you would still cash in on it, though, if you'd done it right there and then.
But, no, I mean, like, he would only remember to buy them then.
But you would still, like, if he bought it then, when he's
40.
No, when he's 40. I thought he said 14.
Oh, no, 40.
I was like, wait, do you think he was going to get paper round? I was just seeing when he's fucking 5, dude.
No, I knew you meant, like, obviously, like, 13, 14, you can get a paper round.
Have you ever had a paper round, dude?
Yeah, I fucking didn't last long, like, because I got it in it was, like, one of the bad winters that we had. It was, like, icy all over. I fell off my bike, like, 5 times in a day or something.
I fell off my bike bar when I had a paper round, dude.
Was it icy for you as well, or you just not very good at riding a bike?
No, was it? Like, I think I was sort of, like, looking in my bag and I hit a lamppost or something. Was it? But no, but dude, it was proper bad. Like, I had, like, this, it was kind of funny, but, like, it knocked, because, like, I fell and, like, me handlebars sort of went, like, vertical, and me chest went into the handlebars, but I didn't have any, like, now when the grips of your handlebar grips, like, with the part wear away at the end, so it's just the tube. It was like that, and the way the scar happened, obviously I was in excruciating pain. I was buzzing that no one was around, though, because it was me. I'd be like, Like, I was kind of buzzing though, because it looked like I had a third nipple the way the scar went for fucking ages. It's gone now, and I'm kind of gutted about it. But it looked like I had 3 nipples because of the sort of way the tubing went. There was sort of like a little, not indentation, but the opposite of that made it look like a nipple. But I remember I was given this round, and I fucking finally started to remember where I was going and like what sort of people were like having. The car was bad at it, I'll be honest.
Aye, Sam.
Like this one, I kept giving them a Gazette instead of a Chronicle, so they actually cut out the Chronicle of a paper and stuck it on the doors and say, "This is what I'm." This is what I'm actually meant to have. And I finally started getting used to it, and I had to pick up another paper round. I'm like, I was just sort of like, I've just got this one. This is a complete new route. Like, I can't believe you're doing this to us. And I was sort of trying to tell them, no, I can't do it, but they proper forced it on us, right, dude? Like, I remember I was raging about it because like they knew I was bad at it as well, and I was like, I can't do it. Like this is completely new to us, and you just sort of like drawn on a piece of paper. Like, do you think I'm a Navy SEAL or something? Right? You know what I mean? And if I had these sort of set of skills, do you think I'd be delivering papers? I'd be an assassin or something, dude. And
you didn't expect like loads of that guy, like.
But dude, I remember once I was looking at this thing, and it said he had like the Sunderland Echo or something, which no one ever bought. Like, this was the first ever time I seen someone had this paper delivered, right? And I was looking in my bag, and I didn't have one, right, dude? And I was like, I must have posted it through the wrong door, because you've got to be quick as well at doing it, so I would make mistakes.
And then once it's through the door, it's done. You can't like knock on the door and get it back. Like.
And like also you might get a load of grief off them for doing the wrong one anyway, so I would just bounce if I thought I'd died. But I was looking through my bag, and I posted the wrong one through because I couldn't see a Sunderland Echo. I was like, oh no, and I just quickly posted it and and I was pedaling to the end of the road, and all I heard was and I was like, no way. And this guy proper started strutting up the street, and I was like, oh my god, no. And he went like the way he shouted, and he was going on like a lunatic. He had a screw loose. He was like, I was meant to have a Sunderland Echo. And I was like, oh, sorry about that. And I was like, sort of knew I didn't have it, but I was looking through the bag, dude. And honestly, it's mad. I don't know what happened. It was there.
Fucking hell.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then as soon as he had the Sunderland Echo in his hand, he was sounding, give us the paper back. He was like, oh no, not to worry, I've got the right one now. I was like, whoa, I can't believe that happened. But then I started to get proper confused and not knowing what sort of streets I had, because it wasn't my normal route, and I just dumped them in the bin and went back. I was like, yeah, I've delivered them all.
I had this one on the route you gave me. That was like, do you remember them? Like the old letterboxes, like you'd only see them on like the old wooden doors, and it would be like, you've got like sort of like, they were usually like brass, and it would be like the square rim, and it's like pure spring thing, like it goes inwards instead of, most of them now you lift up and post it through. But that one went like inwards, and it had a spring that would like keep it closed. Do you remember them ones?
Aye.
And this guy, like, it was so thin, this letterbox, and he used to order like the fattest paper, and it just used to get like shredded up off the letterbox all the time. I was getting pulled off like every day for it, and I'm like, tell him to change his fucking letterbox then, because this isn't my fault.
I remember that. It was as if someone was like pushing it shut, so he had to put a fight with it and put it thingy it through.
Dude, I'm like, you just feel wrestling with this big fat paper, trying to get it through this tiny slot.
And it's proper zigzagging on the way through.
Like all the forces of nature are behind this letterbox trying to stop me get this paper in.
I had that a few times, like, oh, you say his paper's been ripped up. I was like, well, I tell you what, right? Maybe he shouldn't sort of summon the power of Grayskull behind that letterbox, right? Keeping it shut. And then also, maybe it's like barely, you could barely get a pamphlet through it. Never mind, he's ordering like a yellow pages.
But it was the same door that we're complaining about, is it?
It's just fucking mental. It's like, get some WD-40 on that letterbox or something. Because honestly, dude, I remember being pure like that, and it was like pure like this, and the paper was like, honestly, it was like trying to put, I might as well have been trying to post a Big Mac through it or something.
Dude, it was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it was an absolute nightmare. It was just an absolute killer. I hated it.
And then, like I said, mine was in the winter as well, so I'm fucking freezing. I'm fucking skidding all about on my bike, like the back wheels getting no grip on the ice on out like that.
Aye, right.
It's just pretty rank. I quit after like 2 weeks or something. That was when you're getting like a fucking £1 a day or something like that, or maybe 2. I was like, this isn't worth it.
I know I was mad though. Like I proper regretted wrapping it in when I did.
Aye.
Like, because it was mad because the money didn't seem worth it. But then, like, that was like the only available income to a child. So, like once I didn't have it anymore, like I was like gutted because especially like back then you could get a lot more with a tenner as well.
That's what I mean. Like we were getting like £1 or £2 a day, I think. So it would have either been like £7 a day or £14 a day, or like maybe it was £1.50. I mean, like £7 a week or £14 a week.
Oh no, £7 a day is a like a 13, 14-year-old. I would have proper hammered it, me.
Aye, right. But yeah, for like £1 or two isn't worth getting up at 5 a.m. for me, because I had to be there at like 6 or something, so I had to get up and fucking get washed and get dressed and that, and then I had to be ready for school after that. So it's not worth it, man.
It's mad. Like I was quite lucky though, you know, too, because like I only done mine during the 6 weeks holidays, and it was like obviously it was better weather, and like I didn't have school after, so it was like proper the perfect time to do the paper rounds. Like
I was like, people were saying to me like, fucking, I shouldn't have quit when I did, because I quit like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas. And like, oh, you should have stayed on till Christmas because they always tip the paper boy on Christmas and all this. And I was like, they're not gonna tip me because I do a shit job anyway, and no one's up at that time when I'm delivering them to be able to fucking tip us. So like, I don't know, it wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't worth the extra fucking couple of weeks.
I heard about that. Like apparently you did get loads of things. Like you get tenors like off old women and that for it. Because there was a lad that was there. Like he'd done it for years, and he done multiple rounds, and he done one every day. He was in my year in school.
I used to see him mishing about all the time. Like he did one like after school as well as before, didn't he?
Like he proper hammered it, and like the proper loved him. Like
he was a good fucking worker for them from what I seen. Like he was about like all the time. Like I see him on the way to school, like he'd be finishing at like his morning routes, and then like after school and that you'd see him mishing about again. I didn't know that many people still read the paper, you know what I mean?
That's probably not a thing now. Like it's probably purely old people. They were mad them who had that shops. Apparently they were proper multi-millionaires, but you would never have guessed it, you know.
Well, that's what people told us. I just assumed it was one of them school rumours and that.
It wouldn't surprise us though, because apparently they used to have like umpteen shops.
There was the one where like someone always said about it, because you know they had that was it an old Jaguar they had, or so they got some kind of old car, an old Rover or something, and fucking someone was like, oh, the car's always locked, what could you steal it and that? I was like, well, go on, open the door then. And he tried it and it was locked. I was like, well, so you're full of shit then, weren't you?
Aye, but why would you want to steal anyways?
I know. I mean, fucking, it's a car, you're a kid, it's the only one available. Like,
right.
If it was there and available and I knew how to drive, I probably would have.
That's the thing as well. I bet that dude as well, if he actually got in, like, like what stage 2? Do you know how to hotwire a car? Probably not.
Exactly, yeah. There's been a couple of times, you know, when I was like sort of 16, 17, where I was like, it's a good job I didn't know how to drive, because I was a lot more, I wouldn't say a lot more crazy, but I was a lot more game then, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really give a fuck about consequences, and I still don't, but like, I do more. But you'd be walking down the street and like someone's getting a pizza delivered, and the guy just like gets out the car, goes to the door with the pizzas and leaves his door wide open with the engine on and the keys in. It's like, if I knew how to drive, I'd have your car in like 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Aye, right. I think the difference between a kid and now, it's like you're probably not less game now, but then you're sort of not willing to do it because you know it's a bit of a dick move.
But there's also that, like,
but it is a kid, like you sort of like were ranked on how highly you were ranked among your peers was like how much of a dick you were willing to be. You know, like, what I mean?
You were willing to risk getting into bother as well.
Aye, so like you were probably more open to do it then. I seen some guy do that not long ago, and I was sort of like, fuck that. Like, imagine like just like losing your car. It was in a proper raj area as well where it could happen. It was like next to a hostel where like loads of like ex-cons and drug addicts and that. I was like, you're absolutely mental. Because even that thought popped through my head, and I'm an upstanding citizen, you know what I mean? Well, kind of. Like, they won't think twice about doing it.
I think you're not a normal person if it doesn't at least pop into your head for a second. Like, I could steal that car. But most people, normal people, don't do it. But I reckon as a kid, like, about when I was like 15 to 17, I probably would have if I knew how. The only reason I didn't was because I couldn't drive. Like, I wouldn't have got far. The guy would have just caught us there, fucking stolen the car 50 times and just punched the shit out of us.
He just ragged you out like an empty tracksuit.
Pure GTA style in there.
Yeah, I was sort of wanting to discuss this, like, pair of designer jeans with wee stains selling for 640 quid.
It's fucking mental, in it. Like, how the fuck? I mean, that kid looks like the exact kind of geek who doesn't need jeans that are already pissed for him. Like, he looks like he can do it himself. But it's the same as, do you remember them ones where it was like fucking people were kicking off about those like mud stained jeans and that? People were kicking off saying like, oh, they're making like hard work into like a fashion accessory kind of thing.
Aye.
People are just fucking stupid, really.
Do you know what is? What kind of lunatic's gonna buy that anyways, especially for that price?
And like, I bet people will though. Like, I bet it becomes a thing. Well, not like a big thing. I don't reckon it's gonna be a big thing, but I think someone famous is gonna buy them, or someone like at least semi-famous.
You know what's mental, right, dude? Like, because it looks like they've went through a lot of effort with the modelling setup and all that to sort of advertise them. So it's not just a random thing. It's not like I've pissed myself, put the jeans on eBay and says I want 640 quid for them. You know what I mean? No, I so wish I looked into it more before I brought it up. I kind of like not knowing because we can sort of come up with our own sort of shenanigans. I wonder if they're actually weed or because I wouldn't fucking surprise us anymore, dude. I'll be honest with you. But I don't know if they're just designed so that they look like they have.
Like, I think they've just sort of like faded the rest of it. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Like, I think, yeah, hopefully it's not just actual pissed jeans.
Because you know, with all these sort of OnlyFans things that go on, people buy anything these days. I remember there was a story.
I don't think he's going to get much custom.
You know, and there's some fucking wrong-uns out.
And that's not the main focus, but look at the fucking glasses he's wearing and that.
And I wear glasses like that when I'm grinding out old motor at work, so I don't get shit in my eyes.
He's got pure safety gogs on.
It's a safety gigs. People buy some mad things. Like, I remember there was a story, this was years ago, like someone bought an ice cube that was apparently in Shakira's mouth or something on eBay for loads of money, and by the time it got delivered it was just a wet envelope, and I was like, well, what did you think was going to happen? And how did you know that was the origin of it? Like, how do you get a certificate of authenticity for such things?
Like, is she going to be game to go and sign something to prove like, I fucking had this ice cube in my mouth for like 5 seconds.
Aye, right. Do you know what it is though? If they are actually pissed jeans, right? If they're just like proper Asda George jeans and someone's pissed them to sell them, right, dude? If people are paying that much, then fuck me. I'll do it. I'd sell them to some fucking weirdo. 640 quid a pop. I can do for you, D.
Aye, right. That's probably more.
You know what I mean? All it takes is a bottle of Buckfast and I piss myself anyways.
Wait, dude, I mean, you don't even have to put them on. Just fucking lay a bunch out on the floor and do them all in one go.
What kind of numpty's gonna go for that though? Like, do you know what it is? Like, it doesn't even look good. Like, I was a bit. Can you remember when ripped jeans sort of were a thing? Like, they went way too far with that. Like, I remember I used to see lasses going around with like pure whole shins missing out of the pants. Can you remember that, dude?
Aye, dude. Well, like, it went on for a while.
And I was just sort of like, what is going on? Yeah, I mean, we've already covered how we don't understand fashion anyways, but that was just mental, wasn't it, dude? It looked like you shrunk yourself, had a little go of like using a blender as a hot tub and then come out and then resize you. That's what it looked like with some of them jeans. Oh, dude, for some context of the things, right? These have been coming up on me YouTube feed more and more, right? And it's like, because I don't know why I like it, because I literally understand not a word that they're saying, right, dude? But look what goes on in the background here. Look, dude!
Just getting a pure tree in there.
Here's that tree you ordered, sir. Like, imagine if this was some sort of illicit activity and they're like, hey, shit, they're recording with it.
Like, that's some kind of drug that we don't know about, that's about.
His spawn gets raided for fucking growing Glockmar or whatever. The illegal cultivation and distribution of trees, you must come with me.
Right. But why is he just passing on the tree? Why did he want? Because it doesn't look like a healthy plant. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't even make for good firewood or something, dude.
Man.
Yeah, me up for that battered Christmas tree that you put on Facebook Marketplace.
Free to a good home.
Aye, right, dude.
It's mad.
Like, what's he doing?
What does he want it for?
I know.
Like, why did the guy in the red jumper that's giving it, why didn't he just fucking toss it in the skip or something? You know what I mean?
I know. What use could he possibly have for this? I like that he has someone's insight in it because I'm trying to make sense of it and I just can't, dude.
I just don't get it. Like, why does he want it? Why did that guy have it?
Shall we watch the rest and see if he, like, suspiciously jogs back down the alleyway? Oh, it looks good quality, I'll take it.
Just sort of going on with these things.
Saves me to saves it taking up all my bin. This little Raji's taking it. I wish he would move so I could see what he's doing with it.
And I like get out of the way, like fucking I don't care about these lasses, I want to see this guy. And there's another guy over singing the deal.
Oh, right, just see it as a heavy in case it went wrong.
How these 3 deals can go wrong.
Aye, right. You said this was a one-on-one. Don't worry about Mario. He's just here to see it go through smooth. Like, I feel like because I want them out of the way now, and I feel like the Lorax. It's like, I'm the Lorax. I'm here for the trees. Oh, dude, there he is. What's he? Oh, but it's gone. What's he done with it? Oh, is that it laying on the floor there?
I think it is.
What's he doing? Do you reckon maybe she's just giving him a hand to dispose of it? But why couldn't he just launch it across? It didn't look like it. It wasn't like a...
No, probably weighed about 5 grams or something.
Like, I know he was an elderly man, but look at them hench arms, dude. Like, he could have launched that across there.
Dude, I bet he's one of them kinds of guys where, like, I mean, this obviously isn't Scotland, you know what I mean? But, like, it's like the equivalent of, like, you know, them Scottish old men that do the caber tossing events and that way they chuck the big fucking logs and that.
Aye, right, like, dude, the Highland Games.
Like, he looks like the whatever country this is equivalent of that.
Aye, right. Do you know what I think, right, dude? I think that's his son, right?
And the guy standing watching over the deal.
No, the guy, like, well, maybe he is as well, but like that's like the guy in the red's the dad, right? And the guy who's giving him the tree is his son, and he doesn't see his sons enough, so he like thinks of random excuses that he needs hands with. Oh, I need hands getting rid of this fucking massive tree here. And do you reckon, like, when it actually happens, he's like, are you taking the fucking piss?
This is what you need help with, this fucking twig.
And he's like, call me, please.
What is it? Chain? We have something.
Like, I think she's begging for change or something. She got a mustache, dude. Hey, do you know who she looks like, dude? Just off like this, the way this is posed.
John Cleese.
She looks like him, dude. Didn't you? Didn't you look like him, dude?
Proper dude.
Gas. What, big shoe? Big shoe!
Big shoe!
One's like a proper shoe zone, like replica of what Rocky wears when he's training, right, dude? And the other one's like a whole this all white fucking extra thick load.
It's a pure old man moccasin.
Aye. I love how, like, he couldn't think of anything better to say, so he just said it how it is, but it made acts better. Like, oh look, big shoe, big shoe.
Big shoe. Do you remember, it's just reminds me of another fucking classic Scottish thing. Do you remember that fucking, oh, is it true Glasgow's full of specky bams?
Aye. They say Glasgow's full of specky bams.
They say Glasgow's full of specky bams, let's find out. Excuse me, mate, is it true Glasgow's full of specky bams? Oh, you prick. What?
What?
Dude, that's true, dude. Like, I don't really want to take the piss out of her too much because it doesn't look like Fortune's favouring her lately, right, dude? But what? Like, do you know, like, I really, like, I'm digging myself a deeper hole, yeah. I was going to say, I hope that doesn't have a choice. Like, they're the only two shoes she's got, but at the same time, I don't wish that because I don't want her to be in that situation. So what's better?
Like, I get what you mean. Like, you hope that's the excuse and not that that's a fashion choice kind of thing.
Aye, right, dude. Imagine fucking kicking someone. Like, dude, like, you barely have to put any force in a kick if you want to floor a fucking door with that cunt on, wouldn't you? It's like a proper fucking. It's like a guillotine. Guillotine shoes.
I thought you were gonna say like a battering ram or something.
Aye, right, dude. It proper is. It's like a Dutch clog, but designed for battering rams. Right, police open up now, but we've got a warrant of force entry. What's that? You're not coming out? Well, how are Mary? Get the shoe out, get the clog out.
I'll tell you what though, if that is a fashion choice, I'd still rather wear them two shoes together than them pissed-in jeans.
Oh, right, dude. Dude, it is huge though, isn't it? Big shoe indeed. Moving on to the next one. Nude cruise passengers share unexpected rules as they have to stop everywhere for smelling bad. Like, what did they expect? Like, you're clearly some sort of smelly hippie if you're going on these sort of things anyways.
I wouldn't necessarily go that far. But you can understand that, like, extra hygiene measures have to be taken if anyone's wearing clothes. Like,
if you're planning on going on a new cruise anytime soon, you probably read up on the rules, but I'm not planning on doing that anyways.
Even if I was, I would look up the rules anyway, you know what I mean?
I get laughed on enough when I've got clothes on, dude. I don't need to be shamed into put myself in that scenario, dude. The cruise company called Bare Necessities, what about that? Has been going for some time, and one passenger has recently divulged on what's expected of guests having recently been on the new cruise themselves. Taking a Reddit, blah blah blah. I disembarked from a 2,000 person nude cruise, breaking the rest of the message down. The staff was dressed. Fair enough. This was a cruise for nudists, not a lifestyle cruise. Accordingly, there was no public.
I'm assuming lifestyle in quotes like that means swingers.
Aye. So there's no swinging and no like flaccid exclusive. It is. I mean, fucking. You know what it is, dude? That's a bit of a bullshit rule. That actually, like, cause I used to like. When I was bad for like getting up in the morning, like when like back in the day when I only had like my phone bill to pay and then I'd give me mom and dad board and like the rest of the money was just mine, right, dude? I used to take agency jobs, right, and I just didn't care about them. So I used to wake up proper late and I used to just catch the bus, right? But like I hadn't woken up properly enough, so I used to just get delayed woods just on the bus. Like, so sometimes it's uncontrollable, you know what I mean? Generally speaking, the crowd was older and not particularly attractive. However, they were attractive people too. The why is because it's a nice feeling to be nude, just like it's a nice feeling for a man to be without a shirt on the beach. Skinny dipping is great. Being nude at some of the world's nicest beaches is great. No bare butts on services in public space. I'm glad they come to this because what you meant to do, well, it makes sense, but what?
Grab a towel, you know what I mean? If you're gonna sit on a bench or something, just sit on a towel.
I understand that, but that defeats the purpose of being nude because you're just going to be lumping a towel around with you anyways. You might as well just be wearing clothes.
But I mean, like, if you're on a cruise and that, you're gonna be like fucking. There'll be like a pool and stuff anyway. Like, you'll have a bag with you and that. You know what I mean? Like, to carry stuff.
I suppose. Oh, dude, this one, right? Have you seen this when he thought that he Michael Jackson? Do you know what it is, dude? After seeing this, I'm starting to question whether I actually met Dwayne The Rock Johnson or not. You know, dude. My uncle and my auntie, like, they lived in Wales at the time. I mean, my uncle's from there, and like they took me to see the WWF. I loved The Rock at the time. Like, he's my favorite wrestler. I mean, it's not like I'm pure into wrestling, but sometimes like clips will come up. Like, it'll be nostalgia, and I'll be like, oh, remember if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Right, I probably get hyped for it, I loved it as a kid, right, dude? This has made me realise it might not have been The Rock because it's in this place called Rill, right, dude? And it doesn't seem like a place, because I've googled it as well. This is Rill. right, dude? Let's see if it's got like an arena.
So like,
This is their arena, right, dude?
what?
Real Events Arena.
How is that an arena?
I don't know, maybe it's Google's lying to us. And, like, they don't really have big venues, right, dude? Like, none that I think that would sort of like be able to host a WWF, right? And I thought I met The Rock as a kid, but now after seeing this, I don't think it was him, you know?
That's funny as that. Like, so did you go and see the actual show?
I seen the wrestling show, right, dude? I think I was probably like 4 or 5 absolute max, right, dude? I remember being a kid and it looked like The Rock and all that. Like, I've been convinced my whole life that it was The Rock. But now after, like, seeing this, maybe it's the same sort of effect. Like, he was a kid there and he thought that was Michael Jackson.
When did you, like, see him? Was it, like, directly after the show or something? Or was he just about in the street, like, weeks later?
No, because then I would have known then. I would have put 2 and 2 together. And like, he was like, oh, you come to see the show, is it? Like, yes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yes. But hey, nah, it wasn't like that. He was wrestling and like he finished the match and he won and things like that. And he was making his way back to the locker room, like literally straight after the thing. And I was sort of leaning over and I was like, oh, Rock, I love you. Like, I've drew photos from him. And it was like that bull logo and all that. And it was like, Rock, you are the best and all this shit, right? Like, I loved him as a kid, dude. It made me yeah. If like for years, and like I've always said to now that he's like the most famous person I've technically met. And now after seeing this, it might be sort of the same thing, dude.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it was him wrestling and him walking back to the thing, like, why wouldn't it have been him? You know
because I've done research into it, because I've turned around to me mom, right? And my mom wasn't even there, by the way, and I was sort of like, Mom, I don't think that was The Rock, you know, because I've looked into like, because you know how it's all sort of like you can buy the DVDs of it and that. Surely if WWF went to Wheels and Reel, all I need to do is do a Google search of that and nothing comes up of it. So I'm saying, my mom's like, it was. I was like, Mom, you weren't even there. You know what I mean? Like, maybe she kind of bring myself to bring like all these years. I'll be like, oh, I've met Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, he took me photos. He's probably still got them now and that. Like, maybe she just kind of bring herself to like tell us.
What's the alternative situation here? Is it that like this town in Wales is hosting like fake WWF events and that with like lookalike wrestlers and shit?
I know, like, because that's the thing. Because like I'm fair enough, I was a child, but I wasn't sort of like that stupid to like be able to tell if it was The Rock or not. I was convinced he was The Rock, but this is what's got us thinking, because he thought that was Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson's often copied. You know what I mean? It seems like more of a rare scenario for a wrestler to be like sort of like pretended. You know what I mean?
Aye.
So like I'm still on the fence about it, dude. Like, watch, I'll quickly do it, right? There's nothing sort of coming up. Watch our watches have just went to see. Oh, dude, it was there. That's where I went. Like, I remember it, dude, because like, it was like, oh, dude, surely that's not big enough for a WWF event, dude. I've been lying to me whole goddamn life. I remember it, dude. It was there.
Like when he was fighting with announcing him as The Rock and that.
No, I can't remember. I was that young, but I remember because, you know, just out of frame here, they're the stairs that like go up and down. And I remember it that it was there. It was there in the Real Pavilion Theatre. I've been lying to me whole life. Nah, dude. Do you know what it is? My whole life, I've generally thought I met Dwayne The Rock Johnson, dude. There's no chance he was there.
Dude, that's funny as fuck. Some random Welsh wrestler's got your drawings of The Rock and that.
What? He was blatantly called the Pebble or something. I can just imagine backstage like, yeah, this kid's come all the way from Newcastle thinking I'm a Rock. What an idiot. Nah, dude, I'm devastated, you know.
I'm just glad it's not me going through this because it's funny as fuck from the outside, like laughing at you.
Like, dude, imagine if you thought you met Ozzy Osbourne or something and it just wasn't.
I know, it's just some crazy old mom along here.
Dude, I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. Dude, I'm absolutely devastated. I've went over 25 years of my life thinking I've met Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I've been going around telling people.
Oh, dude.
Nah, dude, I'm heartbroken, you know. What? But dude, who is that guy then?
I don't know. Is this him in the picture who's got
Nah.
the guy in the fucking armband?
Nah. Dude, on the next show, it's like, the music's gonna come and the commentator's gonna be like, who's this? It's gonna be me with me shirt up. And I'm like, you told me you were doing the Rock Johnson as a kid.
Dude, that's proper storyline that would be in the WWE now.
I reckon you crushed my hopes and dreams. Now I'm gonna crush your skull. Oh no, he's making his way to the ring. Nah, dude, I can't believe it, man. We were not long talking about this. Like, this is weird because I think it's in fact, I think it's on episode 3. But we were saying this very thing would happen, and I've just sort of come across this article. 8 million jobs. Like, so what's gonna happen? Like, because the use of humans is gonna be like less and less.
I don't know, fucking, it might not be all that bad, but there's too many, I don't know, there's too many variants to be sort of certain. But bear in mind in the title it says could replace that many jobs, you know what I mean? Like, and for me personally, whenever I see the word could in a headline, it means probably won't.
Dude, I can't believe this. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it anymore, dude. Right, just so a bit of context, this is and it's funny enough, I just had a notification of this guy replying. I mean, I should have maybe blanked it out, but he put his name on a comment on the internet. That's down to him, fuck him. It was just sort of this advert about sort of multi-streaming, and he just commented this. I just love how these people use a little microphone. They like, I don't know why, he's one of them people that just hammer emojis for no reason.
Never mind the fucking emojis. Look at how he thinks you spell these.
It's like these rhymes with peas. I just love how these people use a little microphone they got when they purchased their mobile phone, holding it up in their hands. Why do I spend thousands on a Newman U87 or 47? Why do I spend thousands and thousands on stage equipment and studio equipment? A microphone emoji just in case you weren't fucking pulled in enough. I love live performance. I know, that's proper like LA Noir of radio making it. I love live performing. When people fake it and start selling you cover songs without paying for a copyright license, it's against the law. I've always said I don't mind people having fun. Karaoke, another microphone emoji in case you needed a reminder of what you need to do karaoke. You try posting cover songs and you will never receive a copyright ban. If you keep posting on many, you'll be sued under the copyright license laws. I'm only being honest. All it was, right, was an advert about multi-streaming. That's all it was. So why is he went off on this massive tangents? Why do I spend all this money, you might ask? Nobody's asking, dude.
There was a strange comment I seen the day I was scrolling through something. I can't remember what it was, but some guy in the comments was saying like, oh, this is why I would never have kids. But his profile picture is like him holding a kid's hand. And I'm like, well, who the fuck's kid's that, man?
Oh, no, that's even worse. Check the hard drive. But dude, like it's an advert going on about Streamlabs or something, and like on about multi-streaming. Like, what is this comment got to do with that? Why do I spend thousands upon thousands? No one gives a shit. Do you know what it is, right, dude? Shout out to Alexander Taberner, right? Like me and like like this mic I'm using now costs us 19 quid. The what's it called? Me webcam costs less than 80, right? We're probably pumping out better stuff than you right now. And I tell you what, right? We don't feel the need to just randomly bombard this in a comment that has nothing to do with like necessarily live performing music wise or copyright laws. Where did that come from?
Right, dude, he's just gone off on one.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's copy and pasted this comment on a bunch of other stuff, and it's probably not even a real guy. It's probably just AI. 8 million Facebook positions in the UK.
Yeah, dude, I seen this, right? And it probably reminded me because I reckon you probably wouldn't be arsed by this, you know.
No,
terrifying moments theme park, right? Breaks down with air leaving passengers dangling. They were left hanging upside down for close to an hour. Dude, I reckon you'd just be like, proper just like...
I mean, after a while, like after a couple of minutes, I'd probably just get used to it. But you're upside down at the same time, and like you pay blood rushes to your head and all this. Like half an hour is a long time. Close to an hour is a long time.
Dude, I reckon you could probably just bat it out like you just dangle like a bat you, and you just won't be us. And I reckon your arms are long enough. I could proper like hop on a crate or something past you like pastries and fucking jointies and that.
Oh right. Fucking, like after what, like because you've got no choice. It's pointless like kicking and fighting and struggling. So I kind of would just accept it. I don't think I would enjoy it. Well, not like I mean obviously I wouldn't enjoy it, but like I don't think I'd be like I think I'd be pretty miserable while I was up there. But I just there's nothing I can do about it. I might as well just sit here upside down.
Might as well.
You've got no choice, how you like what you can, because you know for a fact a bunch of people like when it happens they're all going to be like screaming and all this. That solves nothing. So just fucking sit there and accept it. Just get on with it. Dude,
if I was like the guy on the mic, I'd probably wind them up and say dangle if you want let down. Hang in there, folks. Only 28 minutes to go.
We're close to the world record for how long we can keep 20 suckers upside down. Fucking.
What? 20 so good. Shit. I think I'll miss that. Oh, dude, I'm crying. The world record for 20 unwilling participants upside down. Imagine if that was the objective, like they done it on purpose for them.
Right, so just hit the emergency stop while they're in the air.
Dude, do you know how they got them down, right? They got that woman with a big shooter just booted in the bottom in a truck. I need to compose myself. No, but it's like, do you know how you're saying you would just sort of accept it because now you can do about it? Griffiths is the best person in the world for just accepting things that he can't do now about, right? I once made him an edible, right? And it was like an American recipe, so it was like, oh, put a gram in it. So I was like, wait, the American like weed is like lab grown and legal, so it's stronger than ours, so I'll put 2 in. Dude, it was proper under the apocalypse on it, dude.
Aye, right.
Like, it was far too much. It was too much, wasn't it, dude? And like, I remember you were just like accepting the fact that you were just going to cease to exist, but you're just like, there's fuck all I can do about it. Like, I'm just gonna lay here.
Because I started feeling ill off it, and I was like laying in bed, I turned the lights off and closed my eyes and that, and like, I can probably like, every time my heart beats, like, it feels like my head's like getting bigger and bigger, like, every single time. But I was saying, every time my heart beats, it's like slower every time. And I'm like, well, eventually it's just gonna stop. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna die. But I wasn't like freaked out about it. I was kind of just like at peace with it. You know what I mean? I was just like, all right then.
My time. My time has come.
If that's what's happening, that's what's happening. Who am I to disagree?
The Valkyries will be here any minute to take me home. Have you ever had this, dude, when you've had too much? And like, I had it once when I was, it's happened to us a couple of times. I had it once when I was stitched. Was it? Have you ever felt like there was sort of like an air bubble in your throat, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger?
No, but you've mentioned to us about it and about a bubble in your chest as well, and I've always wondered like what that feeling is.
I've had it before where it starts in your chest and then it feels like the bubble, and I think it's a fictional bubble. I don't think it's actually there. It just feels like it's there, and it sort of makes its way up into your throat, and then it starts to feel like it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's just horrible. It's just minging like.
No, I don't think I have ever had that. Like,
all right, dude. Like, there's this thing, right? I seen this. This was on our local news. This guy was drink driving and lost control of the car. Dude, look how far away the road is.
Right. Like, and you must have still been going some speed over the grass to cause that much damage into the house. Like, that wasn't at like 10 miles an hour. You know?
Dude. That's just mad, isn't it? How far he saw travel. But dude, all the damage he's done, like that's took away that mental. All the brickwork's gone there. That was a window opening, so there's no brickwork anyways, which was supported by that lintel, and now that's gone. Like, that whole roof of that corner sitting on absolutely nothing. That's thousands of pounds of damage.
I was going to say, I'm surprised the roof hasn't come down and all. Like, it might have after this picture.
Like, how quick was this dude going, like?
It must have been some fucking speed.
Mental, that, innit, dude? Like, I'm just assuming this is the next morning, because drink driving typically happens on a night time. I mean, that's when the pros do it anyways. Like, imagine just sitting in your fucking thing. It's like, oh, I'm finally driven on. So what the fuck was that, dude? Like, and then you just can't see. You can't park there, sir.
Like, you're just getting into bed and that fucking... It looks like a bungalow as well, so it's probably a fairly old person that lives there. Probably just finished reading the fucking... What do you call them books? Fucking James Patterson books and all this. Catherine Cookson and all. I'll put the bookmark in there for the morning to just turn the light off and that fucking car through the side of the house and that.
Aye, mate. I bet you reacted to me when the police opened it when I was doing the bouncing there, because I got arrested and you was all looking like worried I was arrested. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I started like doing this, like fucking in the back of the car, and I didn't realise how much I was shaking the car as well. Dude, wasn't it?
The suspension of the van, this is like this proper, like the fucking, what's it called? The Mercedes Sprinters or whatever it is, the big vans. He's like bouncing the suspension up and down at the back, like you can see it, like the arch lifting up away from the wheel and that. And I'm in the kitchen window in the house trying to go like, dude, cut it out, because the cop's like walking out like to the van to see what the fuck's going on, and he doesn't see me fucking try to tell him. He should just rips the door open. He's like, I thought you were going, yes, Nave, yes. Like that. I was like, oh, you can see this. I was going, whoa, like that. At first I was, and then fucking seen it coming out the door, and I was like, no, dude, stop.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll keep doing it. I didn't realise how much you were seeing that was like pure like the low riding mission on San Andreas.
I probably was, where you've got to dance to the fucking thing with your car with the hydraulics and that.
Aye, right. But like, she opened the door and I was pure like that Patrick off EastEnders.
It's him in the back of the van.
The door just swung open. I was like, what?
Aye, dude, she looked real. She was just storming down the path to see why the van's going mental, you know what I mean? If I left the hydraulic switched on or something, she just fucking ripped the door open, proper raging.
Paddy Truman, dude. Aye, dude, I seen this, right, dude? Newcastle man devastated after council cuts wildflower meadow. He plotty nurture for 10 years, right, dude? I love the thing that the news do when they make them look proper sick as fuck.
Aye, right.
No, but dude, look at it. Like, that's what's he doing? That's clearly not council. I mean, that's clearly not his garden. It's just at the side of a road. Like, what did he think what was gonna happen? It's almost like putting your goldfish in the tine and then being raging that like it's not there the next day.
Aye, or like chucking your fucking prize winning salmon in the tine and someone's caught it the next day and they're in the paper for it and you're getting rid of that was mine, I'll put that there. It's like, well, maybe you should have kept it in a fucking stream or something.
The article makes it part like I very rarely back the council, right, dude? But that looks, if I was like a council guy going around, I'd be going, right, that needs cut because so like a kid can walk through it, get tangled up, hit his head against that tree and we're getting sued. So
wanted it like from the headline, I wanted to side with the guy, but I'm not.
Aye, like, dude, like what was he expecting?
Like it's clearly not his land, like you say. It could be a danger if some kids run in there or whatever.
I do like, that's it now. It almost looks like he's revisited a battlefield where all these loyal subjects have been massacred. Look, he's raging and he dude.
Aye, right, so that does look shite, like, but fucking once it goes green again, I'll be something.
Aye, but like, dude, it's one of them. It's like if someone done a really good graffiti that they were proud of, and then the council paint over it, you wouldn't fucking make an article about that, would you? So if someone's growing and nurturing something that isn't on his land, then what did he think was going to happen? I'm surprised it went on for 10 years.
Same, to be honest, like, fucking, it is a shame, you know what I mean, because there should be more areas that are just left to grow on their own for the sake of, like, the smaller, like, insects and stuff, particularly bees and stuff like that.
Dude, look, it's like the council are there still as well, and he's like, quick, get the drone out. But no, but dude, look at this, like, manhole covers that they need access to and things like that. He's got no right, dude.
True,
Like, do you know what it is? I proper thought that, like, when I first looked at the article, I was expecting that the council just hopped over his fence and cut his grass or something. Because, like, I know that if you're, like, a council tenant, you can get wrong for not maintaining your back gardens and shit like that. And that's what and, like, maybe it's the council thought. Because, to be fair, if you don't know what you're looking at, which I do, that does look messy and overgrown.
It doesn't look that bad to me. If anything, like, I'd rather it was more wild, you know what I mean?
Aye.
More variation of like colour, like with different flowers and stuff, and like longer grass and what have you. But it looks tended to, you know what I mean? You can tell he's done a decent job of taking care of it, and that everything's a fairly uniform height.
I do feel bad for him, but at the same time, what was he expecting? Like I say, I've only just seen that now. Like, if I was like having to do so, if I was Northumbria Motor and having to slug me tools all the way through that to get to these.
Aye, right. You'd be straight on the plot of the council, wouldn't you? Like, yeah, get this sorted for us. I fucking need access. I can't be going through all this fucking grass.
Maybe that's what's happened. Like, I'm gutted for him, but at the same time, like, this article's very selfish on his point. Like if you look at all areas, like, being cut down, big fucking whoop, like.
Like, it's like, I don't know, it'd be a lot different if it was his own back garden or if it was his allotment or something like that, or land that he personally, like, you know, laid claim to.
Aye,